Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the TalkinTwenties Podcast featuring Dan and Joe.
So to start off today, there's been some news recently about Georgia. Again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Georgia football players again arrested. To be exact.
For speeding? For what?
Yep.
Was it car related?
Traffic related incident. Since 2023, 19 arrests just in Georgia football alone.
That's ridiculous. I mean, Kirby Smart is the head coach. You know, he's been there since what,
At least 14, 15?
18? Oh, really? Sometime early. He's been
16,
there. He's been there for
16.
a while, anyways. I mean, as a head coach, there comes a point where, I mean, I understand these kids are, 22, 23 years old. You know, they have a ton of money. But you got to keep them in line. You've got to keep them, they've got to know the rules of the road.
Yeah.
Can't be speeding. Can't be driving drunk. I mean, you don't see Alabama having these. I mean, granted, you had Henry Ruggs, but that was just like a.
He was pro by then, so you can't even.
Alabama doesn't have these type of things going on. Oregon doesn't have this. Ohio State. It seems like it's just a Georgia issue. Why is that, you think?
I think to start, I think it's a culture problem. I think Kirby's a great coach. He always has a great staff, but it starts at the home, really, if you really think about it, and it translates to the classroom and into the football field as well. But Kirby might be on them when it comes to the on-field actions, but they definitely need some sort. I don't know whether you put like GAs on it or you have like a system. They need to put the players in check because 19 within 3 years, and this year just started, is crazy.
I agree. Could it also be, Georgia, although they're known for their football and whatnot, they're also known for the Georgia State Patrol. They always are going on high-speed chases. They have some of the fastest police cars in the nation that'll track you down. So, they say, the quote that goes around is that you can't run from GSP. So could it be that these incidents do occur at Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama, they just don't get caught, rather than Georgia being chased down by probably the best department in the nation in terms of, tracking down their speeding suspects?
Yeah, I think it happens all over the country. It's going to happen when kids get money at 18, 19, 20 years old, and their first car is a Hellcat or TRX, they're going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Because, look, I started off 06. I'm still driving my 06.
Oh, yeah.
You
02.
started,
02 in the building.
So, you got to learn how to drive before you get the keys to something crazy like that.
I agree.
Because the second you get, it's freedom, really. Because if you have ever sat in a sport car similar to,
yeah, you feel the power.
A Charger, it's fun. You go fast. It's fun to go fast.
Yeah,
but you gotta put into perspective that these guys that are getting arrested too, most of them, if not all, are league bound too. Like next year they're going to be drafted.
If you go to Georgia and you start, you're going to the league.
One of the guys just arrested is one of their star linebackers.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta be smarter than that.
Yeah.
It's fun, but you know what? Go on a back road and do it.
And your teammates also have to hold you accountable. If a player, and I'm not just saying a star player, if your teammate is, leaving a bar drunk or they're known for speeding, you've got to, interject and say, hey, you're not driving tonight.
Yeah, it's just, to me, it's an issue, and honestly, it's on Kirby Smart because he's the head man, so everything falls under him. He needs to get like a GA on it, or maybe hire someone, as crazy as that sounds, maybe like a director of player safety off the field.
I completely agree.
Because having 19 arrests within 3 years, and this is just the start of 2026, it needs to be changed.
There's got to be changes. So now in some other sports-related car news, Charlotte Hornets star guard LaMelo Ball was involved in a hit and run this past weekend. So LaMelo Ball, he has a bunch of high-end, luxury sports cars. He had a Hummer or Humvee, it was a big, almost like a armored truck in a sense. But video came out, he was driving, and a car was coming this way towards him, and he swerved into it. I don't know if his tire was already, malfunctioning or whatnot, but the front of his car, his left tire hit the car, and his tire actually ended up, falling off. And reports say that after the crash happened, he got out of the Humvee and entered a Lamborghini and left the scene. So,
wow. Yeah, that's news to me. And I know LaMelo Ball, he was famous for playing up with his brothers at Chino Hills and going to Lithuania and being part of overtime. I don't run it, all that.
I don't run it.
But as similar to what I was saying with the Georgia Cats, you can't give a kid the keys to something like that off rip.
Yeah.
Because he's had money due to the YouTube show, Ballin' in a Family or
Ballin'
whatever.
Family on Facebook.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, they had shows that gave them money at a very young age, and they became superstars in high school. So LaMelo, since he's about 14, 15, has been a star in the world, really, in the sports world at least.
Yeah, that's right.
So you just got to teach the kid, like at this point, he's a grown man. What is he, 22, 23 years old?
About, yeah.
You just got to, I don't know. That just got to be inside you to make better decisions. So yeah, there you have it. Recent car issues with the Georgia players and LaMelo. So moving on to our next topic.
Yeah, so the next topic is if you're into TikTok, you've been on the app, it's sort of the talk of the town, really. Clavicular was recently mogged by the ASU frat leader. And, it led to some controversy back and forth. But recently, the number 2 ranked Chad Androgenic from, I think, Australia, he flew to the States to meet up with the ASU frat leader and give him a peace treaty. Now, the ASU frat leader refused to sign the peace treaty. And reports are saying that World War Mog has begun. So we'll see what conspires from that incident, but we hope the Mog-offs aren't too insane and not too much damage is done.
Yeah, I don't really keep up with Clav or mogging, really. I mean, I've heard of them, obviously, and I've seen Snarp troll them before and other people troll them. But I'm more of a Kevin G guy myself. He made that new song recently. It's pretty good if you listen to it.
I've never heard it.
I'm sure you have.
I haven't heard of Kevin G since about 2022 or 3.
No, he's still popular. I think it's like I left my hoodie on. You left my hoodie on. No, you left your hoodie on my chair. Yeah. Oh, it's a good song. You should tap in.
I'll check it out. Yeah, maybe we can
viewers
play
tap in.
Yeah. Maybe is it copyright?
Oh, 100%. He's Kevin G.
See, so the viewers, if you want to listen to it, go check it out. We would play it, but Kevin G will come after us and
trying to make that funds.
And we do not want Kevin G on our case.
Oh yeah. In other TikTok and brain rot related news, there's a brain rot baseball game coming up.
I heard about that. It was huge news the other day. I heard about that.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
It's the Lookouts versus the Blue Wahoos at the Blue Wahoos, and they play in Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
It's on 6/7/2026.
Okay.
And if you know anyone out there that would like to sponsor the TalkinTwenties Pod to go out there and watch the brain rot game, we would love to go.
So shoot us an email, leave a comment on either this video or any of our platforms, and we would love to be there.
Yeah. And adding on real quick, I've seen a lot of the baseball purists don't like it, but you know what? Baseball really is growing. The ratings went up last year, and I think by getting the younger generation involved, because kids love brain rot, so keep it up.
Yeah.
Adults love brain rot.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand.
You go to the grocery store, you'll see a grown man.
They say the three B's: baseball, brain rot, and beer. What's better?
You go to the grocery store, you see a grown man, 50 years old, yell 6'7".
Oh yeah.
And then all the kids go 6'7", 6'7". Yeah. That's the type of thing. Yeah. So, yeah, please, if you're looking to sponsor the TalkinTwenties Pod, we would love to get out there for the game on 6/7/2026. And now a message from our sponsor.
Sponsor, 999 Nutrition. 999 Nutrition's tactical grade pre-workout is here to get you through your workouts and everyday lifestyle. With 150 milligrams of caffeine per scoop, it'll give you that extra boost to get through your day.
Speaking of day, 999 Nutrition is offering the Training Day bundle for only $49.99. In that bundle, you will receive a bag, pre-workout, and wrist wraps. Go to 999nutrition.com today to get yours. Thank you to 999 for sponsoring the TalkinTwenties Pod.
Now back to the episode.
Thank you to 999 Nutrition for sponsoring this episode of the TalkinTwenties Pod. On to the next topic. Recently in the news, Darren Peterson, the consensus #1 prospect in the NBA draft upcoming, he's been kind of load managing in college, which has raised some concern.
Yeah, I saw that Darren DNP Peterson, as they call him now. He's been missing a ton of games. I think recently in 2 of his past games, he's actually, before the second half, he's actually checked himself out of the game. There was a clip going around where he hit a three and he was near his sideline. His coach was standing right behind him. He hit a three, then he turned to his coach and tapped him, saying yeah, I'm done. And
really?
And he pulled himself out the game. Yeah, but at that point he already had 25 points or so in 20 minutes of play.
But how was his team doing?
I think
was it a close game or were they blowing him out?
They were probably blowing him out. I didn't really look into it that much, and I don't follow college basketball to the full extent, so I don't know how the Kansas Jayhawks are doing.
That's right.
But I assume they're doing pretty good if Darren Peterson can pull himself out of games and do all that.
Yeah, but what's his name? Bill Self, right, is the coach?
I think so.
What if Bill Self doesn't have a choice? What if Peterson and his agent write to Bill Self and says, hey, he's done when he's done?
I mean, that may be the case. There's a lot of money involved.
Yeah.
So that could be the case. But, we've seen this with Kyrie. Granted, he did have an injury, slight injury. But Kyrie only played, I think, 11 games at Duke. And he went number one. And he went on to be one of the greatest point guards of all time. He won an NBA championship. He's a Rookie of the Year. So, although Darren Peterson is doing this and isn't playing every game, he could have a long, successful career ahead of him.
Yes, he may as well. But I think it's different. He's not hurt. He's purposely not playing certain games that they're expected to win. And as a front office, if I worked in a front office, that'd be a big red flag for me in this upcoming draft.
So if you were a GM, would you look at Darren Peterson? If you had the number one, let's say you're the Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
And you get granted the number one pick in the NBA draft, would you go with Darren Peterson?
No. If there's another player like Diabonsa, and I don't know how, I'm sure he plays almost all the game.
Yeah.
If he plays every game, I'm choosing him. Peterson might have the overall eye test talent, but to me, the best ability is availability.
I agree. But at the same time, you have players like Anthony Edwards, who was the number one overall pick. He was an all-star. He's, one of the best players in the league right now. He's come out and said he doesn't really like basketball that much. He likes football better. He likes rapping better. Yeah, he's one of the best in the world. So it seems that could be a trend with players, especially nowadays with, you have AAU, you have all this side training. These kids. Go ahead. I'm not going to say they're burnt out.
Yeah.
But they don't have the love for the game that players once had.
Well, yeah, especially now with the pay to play.
Oh, yeah.
Peterson's probably getting a good check of money to go play there.
Oh, yeah. And he's probably already gotten that money's guaranteed. So it's not like he has an incentive, to play more games or to perform at a certain level. If that money's guaranteed, why play?
And here's the thing, too. We're not GMs. And we both say, we take, it'd be a red flag. We probably wouldn't draft him with the first pick. Now, regardless of what we think, we're not GMs. Chances are he's still going to go number one, really, if you break it down.
If I was a GM, I think I would take him number one.
Really?
I would, yes.
Okay,
I think
wouldn't.
He is by far the best player in the draft. Although his issues in regards to, not playing every game may be a problem right now, I don't see it being a problem in the NBA.
But to me, have it start at a younger age, and if you're already starting to have it in college, NBA is already load management galore.
Oh, no.
You got your stars that play 1 or 2 games in a row and then don't play for 3. I mean, look at Sabonis this year. He got hurt, twice?
Yeah.
3 times within the season? And or like Embiid. I mean, his whole career, he's really been sidelined half the time. And,
the NBA has taken steps to kind of combat that, where if you miss, I think it's maybe 15 games, then you're ineligible for the awards at the end of the year. So you can't become All-NBA. You can't be a contender for MVP or Most Improved or Clutch Player. So they have taken steps toward that. And in some other basketball-related news, Adam Silver has actually came out the other day and he addressed the tanking issues within teams. And he's not proposed, but he's kind of hinted at, what if we eliminate the draft as a whole? And instead, when it comes time for the actual draft, teams can it's a free agency essentially for the college prospects. What do you think about that?
That's tough because some guys will have strong ties to their hometown or favorite team growing up, but if you really break it down, unless there's some limitations put in place, what's stopping a kid from going Warriors, Lakers, whatever team's doing well, Pistons now? What's stopping a guy from going there right away?
Yeah, no, I think that'll completely ruin the league. It'll dismantle small market franchises because for one, they want to have the funds for it, as some of these larger franchises do, and also, to add on, why would a kid want to come to, let's say Sacramento, where they're probably not going to win, even though he may be getting, let's say, $35 million a year, versus, going to LA or going to New York for maybe $15 million a year, but he has a chance at winning.
Yeah, and it's also the city. Sacramento gets a bad rap that it's a cow town.
Yeah.
And it's not that. It's really changed a lot over the years, even from when we've been growing up. So definitely players would choose New York, LA, Chicago, Florida, for the taxes, the weather, Texas for the taxes. Teams, Sacramento, Portland, the list goes on of just different cities that teams would be destroyed. I mean, that can't happen.
Yeah, and also, how much money can you even value a college player, at for a contract? Because if you have a player coming in, let's just say Darren Peterson, consensus number 1 overall pick, how much money can you get if you're proposing $25 million? Well, there's players in the league that average, 15 points a game that aren't getting paid $25 million. Then you have, are you going to offer him more than that, less than that? Then if you offer him less than that, you're going to have, teams that are stacked already that are just going to give him that money. Versus, if he wants $40 million a year, well, only the big time players make those big time bucks. So I don't see it happening. But
yeah, it's just, I'm a fan of trying to eliminate tanking, because for fans to go, like you go to a Kings game, right? A family of 4 just to sit in the lower level, you're looking at least $300, $400 a night. Not just to get in the door and park. That's not counting food for little Jimmy, food for Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to think about that. And it's on Adam Silver, but also these owners to make games more affordable, because really, sporting events as a whole are turning into a wealthy event, a wealthy outing.
Yep, and we've seen some teams already starting to do that with I think Coastal Carolina. They've implemented a system to where some of the amenities are free. You can go up and grab a drink and a hot dog for free, and that's just a part of your game ticket. Or the Atlanta Falcons have drastically reduced their prices. So
Suns have done the same thing as well.
So you have organizations that are making billions of dollars a year.
Yeah,
they can afford that.
You got to think, like right now the Kings, I don't know, games are at 20% capacity because they're the worst team in the NBA, and it's like they're still charging an arm and a leg. You go get some chicken tenders and a soda, $25. You buy that for a family of 4, that's an extra $100 to $200 right there.
Easily.
And if you want a beer, good riddance.
Yeah.
Good riddance. You want wine? You want to take out a payday loan to get that wine.
Good luck.
Seriously, it's a problem. But I agree with trying to eliminate tanking, but there's got to be a different way.
Yeah.
I seen someone out there say, "Ooh, what if they did the lottery after the first half of the season, All-Star break, stop it?" And you know what? I thought at first, "Ooh, that's a good idea," but then you would just have teams tanking the whole first half and then playing the rest.
It'd be reverse tanking. Yeah.
So, I think it needs to be similar to baseball.
How do they do in baseball?
If you have the worst record, you get the first pick. So it follows suit.
Yeah, so like NFL I think has that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. But does that really eliminate tanking?
You can't eliminate tanking without tampering.
I agree. There's always going to be a bottom of the barrel team.
Yeah.
And the Kings, I don't believe that the Kings are necessarily tanking and losing on purpose. I think it's just the talent's not there, the play's not there. I think they're just losing games because they're just not the better team.
Yeah, I think for like the first 30 games they were trying and they just kept losing.
I agree.
And then I think since they made sure get the surgeries for the guys to make it look ethical for tanking. But it's NBA has a problem for sure. And I think the baseball way or the football way would be better, because that way the worst team gets a pick. And guess what? Baseball has a thing where if you get the first pick, you can't. I think it's after 2 years in a row, you can't get like a top something pick. So that would kind of eliminate. I mean, it wouldn't eliminate it, but you wouldn't be able to get. Like,
it would definitely put a little more restrictions on it. Yeah, for sure.
And especially with the expansion teams they're talking about, possibly LA, maybe or not LA, sorry, Las Vegas and Seattle again. I mean, those are big markets. Seattle just won a Super Bowl, so the city's hot. It definitely welcome an NBA team back. The Sonics were popular. Vegas, I'm not so sure about Vegas, to be honest.
So with Vegas, it's kind of difficult to judge, who their fan base really is, because I've been to a Vegas Raiders game. You go in. Obviously, you're gonna see the Raiders jerseys and whatnot. But I went to when they played the Broncos. It was like a sea of orange in there. There were so many Broncos fans, and aside from that, it just seemed like a lot of corporate people were there that were just trying to enjoy the game rather than having a team in the battle.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. I haven't been myself. I would like to get out there one day, but I heard that really in Vegas, it's a tourism spot. So you go to go see your favorite team. So Steelers go play there, Steelers fans flock. Broncos go, Broncos fans go. Raiders fans will always be there because they're top 3 diehard fan bases in the NFL. But Vegas itself, true Raider fans aren't in Vegas.
Yeah, definitely. The Oakland Raider fans aren't going to be in Vegas, and at least not at every game.
It's for tourism spots.
Yeah.
Now, I've taken 6 a.m. flights on Saturday mornings where I've had a connection in Vegas.
Oh, I've taken...
And I know you did too when you went.
I've taken a 6 a.m. flight to Vegas the morning of a game full of Raiders. I'm talking about every seat was a Raiders fan.
That's how it was the Saturday I went for my connecting flight. And 6:30 in the morning, we're taking off. Guess what chant starts? Raiders.
Come on.
You know what? Great fan base. But those are diehards from California flocking to go watch them play in Vegas. Now there's Raider fans in Vegas, but their main fan base is in California.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the same. It'd be more of a tourism spot for the Vegas basketball team too. Going to Vegas to go see their team play.
I agree. And speaking of teams relocating and expansions and whatnot, the Chicago Bears have recently announced their new stadium will be in Indiana, northern Indiana, so it's near the border of that and Illinois. So I think realistically it's going to be like 30 to 45 minutes away from where Soldier Field is right now.
Yeah.
But on game days, it's going to be about 2 to 3 hour drive easily with traffic.
A bunch of teams in the NFL don't play in the city that they're named after. The Giants are one. The 49ers here in California are another. They play in Santa Clara, not in San Francisco. And Santa Clara and San Francisco is a big difference. It's not. It's not like they're next door to each other.
No, not at all. It's almost 2 entirely different cultures.
Yeah.
Also,
it's Santa Clara. If you've ever been, is more of like a business area. Well, Frisco's, man, it's the city.
Yeah.
But I don't see a problem with it because many organizations do. I just wonder how it's going to be for the Bears fan base. How different it's going to be going to Indiana, because Soldier Field has been there for what?
Almost 100 years, I think. It's a legendary field. They've done renovations to it, but I don't know.
Fun fact: the first ever Special Olympic Games put on by Eunice Kennedy was at Soldier Field between the U.S. and Canada.
Oh, nice! I did not know that.
Yeah,
good fact for the viewers. But I don't see how. First of all, I'm a Packers fan. However, I can respect the legacy that Soldier Field holds. Just as regards to a stadium, it's been there for almost 100 years. It's seen a world war. It's seen the progression of America almost.
Yeah.
And for them to just move, especially to a whole new state, I think it's a bad look for the Bears.
Yeah, it's definitely similar to you see a Fenway, you see a Wrigley. Those ballparks are getting real old.
They're monuments.
I mean, real old. Like seats, probably some of them are decrepit, but it's a landmark, really.
Yeah, if anything, they should just do renovations, make it, just make it better, allow it to hold up and sustain itself.
Or here's an idea: why not build it somewhere near, like down the road or something?
That's what I'm saying. But I'm sure the bottom root of it all was money.
Yeah.
It was probably cheaper to do it over there.
Yeah.
So.
And it's probably Chicago's already established. I don't know exactly where they're building in Indiana, but Indiana, you hear Indiana and you think land, farmland. So there's probably room to build restaurants, hotels, the stadium, tons of parking. So
if you're a Chicago Bears fan, there's a chance that Chicago never sees a 4,000-yard passer in their existence. And to add on to that, it seems like the Bears' new nickname will be the Colts' little brother.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know about that, but I think it is interesting having 2 teams in Indiana now. Indiana's not a small state, though, compared to some other states.
Their NBA team just went to the NBA Finals last year.
Yeah.
They produced Michael Jackson. He's come from Indiana.
Yeah. They got Darnell Smith.
They just won the national championship in college football, so they're on the rise. But
Yeah.
So, are the Bears trying to leech off of Indiana's success?
I don't know. I'm not going to jump that far because I'm not a Bears fan. I'm not in that organization. But it is good timing that Indiana, the university, has just went, blown up. I mean, worldwide, really.
Yeah.
Their fan base, partly due to Fernando Mendoza, but the team had great success, Kurt Signetti. So it makes sense. I mean, it's sad for Bears fans who live in Chicago and are true Bears fans, but it makes sense to move to Indiana. You got the hype of what they've been doing. No offense to the Bulls, great historical organization. The Bulls haven't been relevant in years.
No.
Ever since Derrick Rose's rookie and sophomore campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I haven't heard much about their hockey team in recent years either. The Cubs had a good year in 2016?
Yeah, when they won it all?
Yeah, they had a great year then. But since then, the White Sox have always been the bottom of the barrel of the MLB recently.
Yep.
So,
we'll see. So now moving on to our final topic, growing up in the era that we did, we've played a lot of video games, from Fortnite to Call of Duty.
Yep.
But do you have any video game in specific that either is your favorite or you've just been really into recently?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you both answers, actually. So, all-time favorite video game probably has to be MLB The Show 26. Now, shooter game, definitely Call of Duty World War II. That was the first Call of Duty I really picked up. World War II is the war I'm most interested in, and yeah, it was awesome to play that.
Yeah, that was a good one. Some ones that I'm playing right now, I like college football 25. I didn't get 26. I just played 25, played Dynasty mode. But I also like 2K. I've been playing 2K since, 2K13 maybe.
Yeah.
I've been playing for a while, but I like it. I always make a my player every year. Spend a lot of money on VC, but it's fun. All-time favorite game though, it's tough. Is it wrong to say Prime Fortnite is my all-time favorite game?
Honestly, no, dude, it's not wrong. And I'll tell you why it's not wrong. I was in 6th grade, or it was 5th grade going into the summer. My school newspaper at the time said, "Hey, what are you doing this summer?" What was my response?
Playing Fortnite.
Fortnite with the boys.
Ooh, come on now. Yeah.
During that time, nothing better. What was that? 2018, 19?
Early, probably late 2017, 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah.
I mean, awesome times, dude.
Oh yeah.
Talking about you'd be up till 2, 3 a.m.
Oh, easily. And it didn't get boring either. It was always something new in every match.
Yeah.
If you played solos, a lot of people didn't like solos actually because it was actually scary.
Yeah,
It
was.
was
Dude,
like you would be either camping in a bush or running through a field,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't know who's around you. And this was building was in the game,
Yeah.
but nobody really knew how to build. So when you get shot at, you kind of just turn around and shoot your shotgun.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I don't know how deep you want to get into this. I knew people that used to straight go on Fortnite dates back then.
Fortnite dates. What does that even mean?
Yeah. I mean, back to Fortnite. Dude, it took the world by storm. It had a good, it's still popular now, really, but it had a good 6 to 8 year run where it was the number one game. I mean, kids as young as 4, 3 to grown men playing Fortnite. And you know what? There's been a lot of kids took their mother's credit card, but hey, it was all part of character building.
Oh yeah.
I knew people, I stopped playing by the time I got to high school, but I knew people that from the time they started playing all the way until now, they're still playing Zone Wars. And
oh yeah,
all
no,
those
yeah.
modes.
There was an era where it was, you get home from school, you hop on Fortnite, you win, you post your win on your story. It was just a lot of fun. You could hit up your boys, say let's run duos or let's run squads.
Yep.
Tons of fun, and there was no better feeling than opening up a chest and seeing that golden scar pop out.
Yeah, you used to talk about the Golden Scar a little bit. When Fortnite first became popular, I used to get team killed. My teammate would kill me just take my scar.
They had to take out team kill.
Yeah.
So if you played, I think it was season 2 maybe.
Yeah.
Then about team killing. And
it was griefy.
If you pulled out a scar and your teammate, wanted it, he's going to take it from you. He's going to say, "Hey, let me see the scar." You show it to him, bam,
gone.
Yeah.
But I will say, moving on from Fortnite, I've always been a sports game guy myself because my parents didn't let me play shooter games growing up. So it's always been 2K, Madden, the show, college football. Right now college football is probably my number one game. I play College Ultimate Team. I put a decent chunk of money into that, but I have fun with it. It's like kind of like my vice, I would say. And but the show overall has definitely been my favorite. I've always been a show head ever since elementary school. I used to same thing with Fortnite. I used to call my boys, hey, let's run it. And now they got duos, co-op. It's fun.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. 2K, all of our friends have always played it.
Yeah.
It's been super fun. Especially it's online. You could make your own player. Tailored to how you play.
Yeah.
And play rag. You could talk to the other people.
Yep.
I think honestly, it's one of the most underrated parts about gaming is talking to the other team.
Dude,
mid-game.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I think MLB The Show, if you're listening out there, the devs, it's a small team, San Diego studios, if you're listening, add voice chat between players in online play. Please.
Oh, yeah.
Because imagine hitting a grand slam, you talk your mess.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, dude.
That's the best part about multiplayer, in my opinion.
Yeah. 2K, you hit a 3 on someone.
Yeah, you guys have banter back and forth.
NCAA, you get a pick, a user.
Oh, yeah, and the best part about it all is as soon as the game ends, it's over.
It's done.
You don't see those players again.
It's done.
You may run it back with them, but, it's over with at that point.
And you know what? The concern out there from all the video game developers might be, at San Diego Studios, might be, a lot of young kids play our game, so we don't want grown men, cursing at them or saying hurtful things, making threats. But you know what? That young kid could also put a mute button in there and you can mute it.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, that builds character, in my opinion. When you get on a game and someone's talking their mess to you, I think as a kid, it would either teach you, you can hit the mute button if you want, or you can talk your mess back and defend yourself.
Back to talking mess, dude, we can keep this going. Back to talking mess. If you play a game of 2K, Rec, Park, or Theater, you're going to hear an 8-year-old dropping words you haven't even heard, and you're 20.
You will have an 8-year-old and a 45-year-old
going at it
with 4 kids going at it, talking to each other.
Whole game.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've seen it. I've seen it. I used to be that little kid, that 10, 12-year-old kid. I would play with a 35-year-old dude. Has a kid in the background, hear him crying, wham. Hey, bro, trying to run another game? Then they become friends. Now, that's a whole separate issue that could get a little tricky.
Oh, yeah.
But traditionally, and more times than not, they just want to have fun while playing.
Yeah, 100%.
The cases where people are weird and do some extracurriculars.
It's very low.
Yeah.
It happens, but it's very low. But I think the majority of it is, either banter back and forth or, people become friends and play with each other.
Yeah. And I think touching back on that, I was smart. My parents told me, hey, don't talk to strangers, right? So, as you get a little bit older, you get independence, you get courage, you get confidence. Yeah. You talk to strangers.
Yeah, your voice deepens a little bit.
Yeah. But guess what? You got to learn, and parents got to teach their kids that at a certain point, you don't mention where you live. Mm-hmm. Don't mention where you go to school. Yeah. None of that.
Don't mention your name. None of that. But just talk.
You know what I used to say when people would ask me, hey, bro, where are you from?
Yeah.
I would just say California. And when they would say what part, I would avoid that question.
Oh, yeah.
Because guess what? Hey, people out there, you can't trust them.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Yeah. Wrapping up, I just want to say, definitely we're both big video game people. And we've had some fun over the years. And we still run it from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
Not very often, but sometimes. And I think the new future of video games probably going to be VR. It's going to keep advancing.
I think so. It might be.
Yeah, that's our thoughts. And this was the 6th episode of the TalkinTwenties Pod. Thank you. This was Joe and Dan. Have a good day.